going to graph your zeros, in this case, the 3 of them. Let's just use the drawing tool for all of this. So drawing tool, I would make a little thicker. I made it 2. So -2, +2, and 8. And then I'm going to use my knowledge of the end behavior. And I know it's odd, so if it's going to start down here in negative infinity land, when x gets larger negatively, I'm going to go a hair to the left of -2 and down, and just put a point somewhere down there. Okay. Remember I said we're not going to be super accurate? It's okay. And then since it starts in the 3rd quadrant, where does it have to finish? In the 1st. So go a hair to the right of 8 and go up. And then we just start drawing. So use your finger. You're going to go up through -2. It's going to cross somewhere here. It's going to go down through 2. And it's going to go through 8. And that's it. We're going to put an arrow on each end. And that is all you need to do for that problem. Go into Desmos. I'm going to write a of x equals x minus 2. And the order doesn't make a difference. X plus 2. And parentheses x minus 8. Okay? So you can see that I can't even see where my relative max and min are, but I can see that it's starting here in the 3rd quadrant, passing through the 3 zeros, and it's finishing in the 1st quadrant. And that's all I want. So don't feel like you have to well, where is it? I don't care. Okay? So when you're looking here, this is not the scale at all. Okay? So I want you to take a moment, and I'll be quite impressed if you can come up with B on your own. Okay? The degree and the zeros might not be too hard. The end behavior and the actual graph might take a little work. Think about what it looked like on the notice and wonder questions. See what you can do on your own. A 3rd degree. Because just like over here, we have only 2 factors, but one of them has to count twice. So 2 plus 1 is 3. But I have 1 less 0. All I'm looking at is positive and negative dose. And now here comes the tricky part. Okay. You have this squared exponent, and I got a negative in front. So let's talk about the negative in front first. What does a negative do? It takes all my y's that were positive and makes them negative, and all the ones that were negative makes them. So what should happen to my end behavior? Instead of going to negative infinity, you go positive infinity. So I can copy and paste here. Control A, Control C, Control V, but I need to get rid of that negative sign. So that means when I start graphing stuff, so now I have everything I need, but I should add a little something, something here. What's the little something, something I should add because of the squared? Think of a word. I'm looking for a word. It's going to what? Bounce. Okay. So it's bouncing at x equals 2, because this is the factor that goes with the 2. So let's start graphing stuff. So I know it's at -2 and +2. As it gets larger and larger negative direction, so just a little hair to the left of -2, I'm going to go up. So that means to the right of the +2, I should go down. And at the 2, it has to bounce. So it's got to come down through the -2, cross somewhere in the negative, come up at that 2, and then bounce and go down. And that's it. Okay? And that's what it should look like. Again, I don't care where it's crossing the y-axis. Yes, sir?
Why is it positive?
Why is what positive? This one? Okay. So let's pick a number. Pick a number smaller than -2. You choose. Keep it simple. Yes, sir. Any number smaller than -2. -3. Good choice. So opposite of -3 plus 2, close it, negative 3 minus 2, close it, square it. So it's just follow order of operations. Negative 1 plus, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5, but I'm squaring that. Okay? So far, so good? Okay. So this is positive, right? Because a negative squared is positive. And a negative times a negative is positive. So that's also positive. So I'm always going to end up with a positive number.
Can you do it for the other one?
On the other side?
Oh, no, for A.
Oh, sure. Okay, so if we look here, so again, same idea. So negative 3 plus 2, negative 1, negative 3 minus 2, negative 5, and negative 3 minus 8 is negative 11. So now I have a negative times a negative times a negative. Any two of them combine to make it a positive, but I'm always going to end up with a negative on the other. Okay? Good questions. Any other questions so far? Okay, and the remaining 10 minutes in your groups, what you're going to do is you're going to do these one at a time. So one person is working, the other person is watching and listening, and you're going to critique what they do when they're done. And then when you're done, then you go on to Desmos, and that will decide any arguments that you might have. So all you're doing is one person at a time, C, D, E, and F. Just doing those 4. When you're done those 4, you're done. Let's see if we can get this done in the next 10 minutes. Okay.